Welcome to the Luxury Rental Blueprint Podcast, your ultimate guide to creating stunning vacation and corporate rental spaces. Join us as we unveil the secrets to boosting revenue and elevating guest experiences through high-quality design and luxurious amenities. Whether you're a seasoned property investor or just starting out, on this podcast, we aim to provide you with the tools and insights you need to build your own 5-star rental empire. Hello, welcome to the Luxury Rental Blueprint Podcast. This is our first ever episode, so if you are listening, welcome. I am so excited that you're here and taking your time to check out what this new podcast is all about. So first and foremost, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Breanna Williams. I am a short-term rental and mid-term rental interior designer. I have been an interior designer for almost 15 years. And about 3 years ago, I did niche down into working with investors who, like me, are passionate about providing top-notch guest experiences and ultimate hospitality. So I now help investors create and set up their properties with that guest satisfaction in mind. We dig into market analysis, we dig into avatar analysis, we really fine-tune who it is that our investors are planning to work with or have stay in their property. And then from there, we design that property for that ideal guest and create an exceptional experience that really makes that property 5-star worthy. And so not only am I an interior designer, but I also co-host. I currently co-host just one property. I've scaled back in a lot of my co-hosting so that I can focus my attention towards my design business, towards projects like this podcast, and a few other things. In addition to interior designing and co-hosting, I also co-host the midterm rental meetups here in the Inland Empire in Southern California, where I live. My friend Tracy Kuka and I share that responsibility of hosting that event, and we do it every month. We tend to alternate. If you're not aware, the Inland Empire is in Southern California, and it's quite large. So we have so many cities, it can even take you, up to 2 hours just to drive from one side of the Inland Empire to the other side. So we actually decided to create a meetup that pops around a little bit. So we have 1 month that's in Rancho Cucamonga, California. The next month we're in Temecula, California. One is a little closer to Tracy. One is a little closer to me. I personally love the Temecula meetups because it's closer to me, and also because we meet at a winery every Temecula meetup, so every other month. And as you could see behind me, if you're watching this on video, I love wine. It's why I moved closer to the wineries, so I could just back road it to a couple of my favorite wineries and meet all my fellow hosts and co-hosts and investors. So that is a little bit about me business-wise. But of course, before I owned any of these businesses and did any of these projects, I was a wife and a mom. I still am a wife and a mom, I should clarify. My husband and I are high school sweethearts, and we've been married for a little over 11 years now. So we've been together for close to 20. We're getting there, and that makes me feel really old to say. But we have a beautiful life. We have 4 kiddos. So if you'll kind of start to kind of catch the trend, I like to stay busy. I don't really like to just sit on my hands. So I just keep coming up with these crazy ideas to fill more of my time. And I think everybody around me just laughs and goes, yeah, that's Bree. That makes sense. That makes sense. So my 4 kiddos, I have Avery, who is 12. I have Mackenzie, who is 7. She's our go-getter soccer player. Avery loves soccer as well, but Mackenzie has been pushing real hard lately. We have Charlotte, who is about to be 5. Just a couple of days before my birthday, she'll turn 5. And then our last little dude, he's the one guy amongst all the girls, right? He is Jace, and he is 3. So that is my family. I'm really, like I said, we're really blessed to have 4 kiddos. It's not something we could have ever expected, but they keep us on our toes and they keep us laughing. So that's always great. Of course, after I started my business and started working with investors, I started seeing these needs or gaps or just a need for fulfillment and community, I guess I should say. I started working specifically with investors after finding my real estate club that's local to me here in the Inland Empire. And I cannot say enough good things about them. It truly feels like a family. And as they grow and grow, it's funny because you can have this event with 300 people or 200 people, but you still walk in and you feel like you know everyone, even though, you're meeting tons of new people. And they're just so welcoming. And I loved that feeling that I got from them. And as I would speak about midterm rentals and things like that at a couple of their events and just networking with people, talking about midterm rentals, I started to realize that a lot of people were craving a space that was dedicated for networking just for midterm rental operators so they could share all of the things that they needed to be successful. And as a service provider for midterm rental operators myself, it was really important for me to create a community that not only connected hosts, but also service providers. So that might be a co-host, it might be an interior designer, it might be a contractor or a realtor, or somebody who could provide insurance to your midterm rental or to your business or whatever the case may be. So that's what I'm really passionate about. Community it was my word of the year for 2023. Community is my word for the year in 2024. And in 2024, not only did we start up that midterm rental community where we are gathering every month, but apparently I didn't think that was enough. I got the wild hair to also start a podcast and take the community a little bit further. I've had so many great conversations with operators and service providers and hosts and co-hosts and you name it, that I just want to open the doors to these conversations and bring you all into them and have some place that they could live. So my intention for this podcast is for it to be a video podcast. We do talk a lot about design and amenities and how that impacts our guests. What should we be creating for our guests? What needs to be included? What does that standard look like? Let's start building that out together. And I will be totally honest, I'm learning as I go, right? I've been doing this for a few years and I am a podcast fiend. I love podcasts. I love YouTube University, right? Like I love to learn and I make it a point to listen to at least one podcast a day or watch at least one video a day. And for me, because I love interior design and that's what I eat, sleep, and breathe, I'm always digging for those interior design episodes. I want all the nuggets. What are the other designers doing that are helping their clients be more successful? What are people putting into their properties that are truly making them stand out in the markets? And every market is different is what I've come to find out. So I just feel like there's endless opportunities for conversations with people from all over the country that can bring different insights to whoever is here to listen, whoever wants to know more. If you're passionate about learning and you're passionate about guest experience like I am, then I think this is going to be a really good place for you. You can love wine. You don't have to love wine. I'm fine either way, but if we get together and you love wine, I know all the spots out here in Temecula I could bring you to. So I definitely know how to find good wine and I know how to find good food. So if that's you and you're into the same things, then I think this is going to be a place that you're really going to enjoy. I've been recording podcasts all week just to set you guys up with a few as I kind of dive into a few projects on my end at Mumford Designs. I'm diving into some projects. So I wanted to make sure that we had enough content to get you through the next few weeks while I'll be digging deep and working on behalf of my clients. So if you ever have questions about midterm rentals or short-term rentals, marketing them, setting them up, always feel free to reach out to me. I am an open book. You can find me on Instagram at the Luxury Rental Blueprint Podcast, or you can find me on Instagram at Mumford_Designs. Please don't hesitate. If you hear something that you love on the podcast, please share it with me. You're going to hear some mistakes. I am not perfect. I'm going to flub things up. When I recorded the first episode a couple of days ago, I'm not going to lie, I was sweating. I was nervous. I think I had to restart the intro like 4 times. I made sure to stack the first few episodes with some friends so that as I learn and if I make mistakes, like they give me a little extra grace and can be patient with me because it's, learning how to talk to people and share, all of this good information. I don't want to gatekeep it. I want to give it to everybody. I want it to be accessible, and I want it to be free for all of you guys, because as I came into this, I needed to learn how to best set up these properties for my clients. Their success only, can come if they're set up appropriately. And so I took that responsibility on full force. So I made it my point and my mission to learn everything that I could about short-term rentals and midterm rentals, and, how things work, what brings success, what causes failures, what can we prevent, things of that nature. And I still continue to expand my knowledge on that every single day, as I'm sure you are all as well, especially if you have found this podcast and you're listening to it. I also just love people. So I meet people all the time. I met a midterm rental investor at the grocery store the other day. So we just started talking, and it happened to be that they were like, "Oh yeah, I have a property, a rental." And I'm like, "Oh cool. Do you rent it out, like a standard long-term annual lease, or is it furnished?" And they said furnished. And I was like, "Oh, is it like an Airbnb, like a short term?" And they said, "No, it's midterm." They actually knew what midterm was. So I was so excited. So had to refrain from geeking out and like word vomiting all the things about midterm rentals. Because yet again, if you know me, I can do that sometimes. I will try really hard not to go off on tangents, but I also want this podcast to be just an open conversation space. So I don't want it to feel too perfect and curated and things like that. I mean, yes, we need questions, right, to kind of guide the conversation, so that we don't go off topic, and we can, time is valuable. So I value your time like I value mine, and I value that of my guests that are coming onto the podcast. So we definitely want to have a purpose for each episode. But outside of that, I just want it to be true, honest conversations where we could bring transparency, honesty, bring all of the good data, the facts, right, behind everything that it is that we do. So I truly hope that you love everything that we're bringing to you. And please reach out to me if you haven't. Let me know that you're listening. I look forward to whatever this new journey is going to bring. Bye.